Fans, welcome back to another episode of Barrie Wrestling's Rush Hour. I am Mike Jeffries, the host of Rush Hour, and usually the play-by-play voice of Barrie Wrestling. Now, last show you saw me unceremoniously removed from the commentary desk by Matty Z and the last true professional, Brian Sinclair. And actually, on tonight's episode, I'm still not there. You're going to hear the very talented Kevin Caligari along with Diamond Jim Lowe on commentary. And I also promised the reason I wasn't here for last episode had nothing to do with that, just some technical difficulties here. I feel very safe here in the Rush Hour studio. It's just at the commentary table, I'm not quite ready to return, but I'm sure Kevin and Jim do a terrific job. Now, as for this episode, we have 3 great matches for you and a main event you do not want to miss. Myung Jae Lee, Rajan Husher, and the Bionic Woman Alexia Nicole for the Three Pistols Championship, and an incredible triple threat main event. Fans, stick around, enjoy the show. This is Barrie Wrestling's Rush Hour.
Well, we are here. We are live. Barrie Wrestling on site. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I am Kevin Caligari on the call, being joined by the
opening contest is a singles match. It was a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from Toronto, Ontario.
Watch out, Kevin. It's my favorite commentary desk in the whole wide world. Wait. Where's Mike Jeffries? Will you get out of here?
Did Mike Jeffries not be here tonight? Oh, that's so
I wonder why.
Jim. I'm so sorry, Jim.
Why don't you worry about what Matty Z's got
Kevin,
going on?
You're going to do a great job tonight, buddy.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Hey, Jim.
I don't know what your problem is with him. He seems okay.
Kevin, you're not off to a great start, but regardless, welcome to Barrie Wrestling.
I appreciate you guys having me here. Diamond Jim, this is one of the biggest shows in Ontario, and we're starting it off with a very, very big and sure to be an exciting match. Look at the back of Matty Z there.
And his opponent.
What happened to him?
Making his way to the ring from Hamilton, Ontario, weighing in at 212 pounds, the Golden Gun, Mark Wheeler!
Well, Kevin, I don't know what happened to Matty Z's back, but I can guarantee however much he's suffering right now, he's going to be in a lot more pain once this match with the Golden Gun Mark Wheeler starts.
Oh, Mark Wheeler, one of the most capable, exciting athletes on the scene today. In fact, in recent times, he's taken on a leadership role in the scene here in Ontario, guiding a lot of the young athletes. At one point, Matty Z was one of those, but since he joined up with Chimera, he's going his own way, Jim.
And at one point, Mark Wheeler really was Matty Z, but you're right. Early in Matty Z's career, Mark Wheeler was a bit of a role model, guided him, trained him, but Chimera are a bunch of guys who just think that their time is now, and they've got no respect or no interest in waiting for guys like Mark Wheeler to step aside.
Well, they may not have any interest, but I have a lot of interest in seeing what happens between these two men here. You might as well consider Matty Z as almost about to be taught a lesson by one of the top wrestling teachers here in Ontario.
Well, one of the all-time greats in Barrie Wrestling history. Mark Wheeler has won it all. He's a former 400 North Tag Team Champion, a former Three Pistols Champion, and of course had one of the longest reigns in Barrie Wrestling Heavyweight Championship history.
And that's what we call a triple crown here. Every single piece of hardware he could hold, he has hold. It's almost to think what's left for him to do here. But Brian Sinclair seemingly being ejected from ringside. I'm sure you're very happy with that, Jim.
It's about time. Brad Myers, our senior official here, he's clearly seen what Brian Sinclair has done in so many matches recently. And, boy, I'm often critical of Brad, but this is a great decision. That man cannot affect the income of this match.
Somehow this is your fault.
Well, I understand why you don't like him. He was perfectly kind to me, but I get it, Jim. I get it.
Ask Mike Jeffries what he thinks about Brian Sinclair.
Ooh.
Well, Mike Jeffries, he's been a hard man to reach in recent times, that's for sure.
He's
Irish whip.
ghosting us.
And now Mark Wheeler very much in control here. The golden gun. And Matty Z is very much in his sights here. Another Irish rip right into that buckle. Wheeler sized him up. This is with that chop, though. Z just a little bit too quick for the veteran in Wheeler, but Wheeler hits just as hard. Ooh!
And it's quite fascinating, Kevin. For the past year, Chimera has had their sights set on Mark Wheeler. When they first appeared on the Barrie Wrestling scene, he was one of the stars that they immediately targeted and said they were coming for.
Well, Jim, it's almost like they're going off of prison rules here. When you step into the yard, the first person you go for is the biggest and baddest. That's how you show dominance. And I think that's the mentality Chimera has been picking up.
Well, it's been successful for them. Look at KPK. They set out to take out every top tag team in Barrie Wrestling, and who's at the top of the mountain now, Kev?
Can't go wrong with that. The 400 North Tag Team Champions, who we will see in action later on tonight in that Wild Rovers main
I can't
event.
wait for that.
Oh, but speaking of Wild, Wheeler trying to go up and over, but Z just a little bit too quick. Returning back to the ring and using that middle rope to great effectiveness, hitting Mark right in the golden gun.
And I have to say, while I don't like Matty Z's attitude, he reminds me so much of a young Mark Wheeler. Like, this is like going back 10 years ago when Barrie Wrestling was first starting. You saw all the raw talent. You saw the athleticism, the charisma, and, he wants that spot. He wants to be the next Mark Wheeler.
And that's a fine line to ride early in your career. People, to a certain extent, they like that arrogance, Jim. They want to see someone that thinks they're better, that wants to push themselves. But when you think you're already there and you don't need to put the work in, that's when you start getting disrespect. That's when you get put in the ring with someone like Mark Wheeler to teach you that lesson.
And that's a heck of a roadblock in front of a young star. Mark Wheeler, he moves like a cruiserweight, but he punches like a heavyweight.
An absolute physical specimen here. Boone goes up right into the face. Sunset flip. Rolls through into the penalty kick. Doesn't quite get it. Schoolboy pin. 2.5, says Brad Myers. Backslide now from the golden gun. Still not enough. But the veteran instincts of Wheeler immediately going into another maneuver. Z saw it coming. Catches that boot. Great leg sweep. Ooh! Drop kick right to the shoulder, it seemed.
Wheeler has a history of shoulder issues. So.
And that's something that I can respect when it comes to Matty Z. He's trying to exploit a former injury. And I'm not going to say I want to see Mark Wheeler end up on the shelf again, but that's smart. You target someone's weak spot, almost like that big weak spot Z has across his entire back.
And you know Mark Wheeler is going to be targeting that.
The thing I can appreciate about Mark Wheeler is he's not going straight forward. He's not going for that low-hanging fruit, so to speak. He's looking to teach Matty a lesson his way. This is with that heel kick. Takes him up, lands on his feet. The athleticism of Matty has saved him once or twice in this match, that's for sure. But at that point, it might have been more of a detriment. Big back suplex.
Wow. And he's feeling it. Oh, boy.
Both men down on the mat. This is just our opening match, Jim. These two guys have been playing it all on the line.
We're going to see a women's championship title defense.
All right, we are Shiloh defending that title against Crystal Moon, the longest reigning champion in that title's history.
And you want to talk about longest reigning champions. Myung Jae Lee, the longest reigning Three Pistols champion, is one of two challengers for Alexia Nicole's Three Pistols title. I can't believe we're getting that match tonight, Kevin.
You put the two of those in one match, and that's sure to be exciting. Then you throw in that third wild card. Well, let's not get too far ahead of us, Jim.
No, we got a heck of a match here.
Going on right here in front of us. Wheeler shooting Matty into the ropes. Up and over. The vertical leap is fantastic. Tripping up Z there. Right up. And that right there is the best
drop
picture-perfect drop kick.
Wrestling.
Absolutely.
Kevin, we're going to get along fine.
You're finishing my...
No, you started mine.
Started your...
Comment about his drop
sentence. The line is sentence.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Back to the match,
We're having fun here. Hooks that leg, kick out from Z, and I'm surprised Matty has been able to hang on as long as he could. A lesser competitor would have been down in the ground, Wheeler would already be in the back sipping on a cerveza.
Absolutely. Mark Wheeler has beaten the best, not just in Barrie Wrestling, but around the world. When he was Barrie Wrestling champion, wrestlers from all across Europe and the United States came to Barrie because they wanted to challenge Mark Wheeler. For Matty Z to hang with him like this.
Well, in a lot, belly first onto that mat, goes up, big Chonoku driver.
Could have an upset here.
And Wheeler kicks out. But when it comes to Wheeler, and this is a term I try to use very sparingly, but Wheeler is very much the measuring stick here in Barrie Wrestling. He is the guy, if you can't hang with him, go home, work on your cardio, kid. If you can, okay, now we can do something. Now we can move up the ladder. And Z is finding that out the hard way here tonight.
Yeah, but who's standing on 2 feet right now, Kev?
Okay, you got me there, Jim. But who just ducked out of the way of that spinning roundhouse? Taking him up, trying to go for that revolver, but not quite able to get it. Rolls over. A battle of leverage there between these two athletes.
Yeah, Matty's not going to win that battle.
Oh, super kick there. One shot, and you're down. Takes him up. Falcon arrow hooks the leg. See, thanks. Oh!
How did he kick out from that?
That's one of the most devastating moves in Wheeler's arsenal here. And Z able to kick out. This is awesome. This is pretty darn good.
Yeah, you'll find that our Barrie Wrestling fans, they know this sport. They love this sport. And when they have two elite competitors like Mark Wheeler and Matty Z in front of them, they're going to love every second of it, and so are you, Kevin.
I've got no issues with what's going on in front of us here. And the fact that we get to sit in the best seat in the house, Jim, fantastic. Fights out of that fireman's carry, does Z. Shot to the kidneys now. Trying to take the big man up. Look at the strength of this young athlete. But Wheeler.
Veteran savvy there.
Gets that boot. What are we going to see here? Oh, going for that slingshot flatliner. But Z, he's been doing his homework. He's got that cross arm bar. If he gets that arm extended, this could put Wheeler back on the shelf.
I have to say, I'm very impressed that Matty Z has not been thrown off his game.
He rolls him over, forcing Z to break the hold, but right back into it he goes.
The strength of Mark Wheeler is just next level.
Well, this is a man that can squat nearly 500 pounds, Jim. Look at him. They don't make them like that anymore.
They do not.
I'm almost lost for words when it comes to describing Wheeler. Just one arm, deadlifting him up for that power bomb. And takes him up, hits! That pump handle Uranagi hooks the leg. Z is done. Well, Matty, you've just been dismissed. Mark Wheeler here, victorious in our opening match. Main events here this evening. Two top-tier talents, but not so much top-tier humans.
Introducing first, Sabre and his partner, the Barrie Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Gabriel Fuerza.
Well, he's held every single piece of gold there is to hold in this company. Calls himself the last king of Barrie. Gabriel Fuerza is here to ruin Barrie Wrestling for everyone else on that roster. And being flanked by Shane Sabre as well. These are two very dangerous athletes. Sorry, Jim, I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, it's okay. My blood just boils when I see either of these guys.
Times sure are different. These used to be beloved individuals all over Ontario and Canada. But things certainly have changed.
And their mystery opponents.
Well, let's see who it's going to be. They sure have pissed a lot of people off lately.
Oh, hold on a second, Kev.
No. I thought Van landed.
It's the barn burner, Kevin, and you know he hates Gabriel Fuerza. He's got a score to settle with both of these guys.
Well,
But
who hates them as much as he?
oh no!
Is it Kyle Boone?
His career is supposed to be over, Kevin.
No, you never tell a man like Kyle Boone that he's done. He'll tell you when he's done. The Wavemaker is back here in Barrie Wrestling. Ring the bell. And we're going straight off to the races here. We haven't even stopped the music yet. This is absolute pandemonium here.
I'm at a loss for words, Kevin. Kyle Boone, we thought his career was ended at the hands of Gabriel Fuerza and Shane Sabre.
You, me, and every single person here at Barrie Wrestling. But things are just getting chaotic here. Here on the outside, you got Van Landon taking it, or Fuerza taking it to Van Landon, the man he just defeated to retain that Barrie Wrestling Championship. Even the camera operators are having a very difficult time keeping up with this. This is over the top. You think our main event's going to be crazy, Jim?
Well,
this might be good practice.
Our camera operators have got to be careful because Fuerza and Sabre have shown they don't care who you are. They don't care if you're a referee. They'll take you out. They don't care if you're injured. They'll take you out.
That doesn't apply to commentators, does it? Face first into that wall.
I don't want to find out, Kevin.
Well, let's have them stay over there. Now Sabre and Boone here fighting out by the concessions, by the merch tables. Van Landon coming to the aid of his tag team partner. Hopefully we don't go through any of these tables. People are trying to make money here, Jim.
And I was going to say, Shane Sabre, this is his first time in a Barrie Wrestling ring in 3 years, but they haven't even stepped in the ring yet.
Yeah, this match has officially started. The official call for the bell, but waiting until they get back into that ring to really lay down the law. The bell rang. This is an official match right now, Jim. But it's a chaotic one. Face first again goes Fuerza, as does Sabre into that chair, which is much less comfortable than the one we're sitting in. Sure, it's not a recliner.
Van Landon, of course, one of the most popular wrestlers in Barrie.
What?
Oh,
No.
yes, please do that, Kyle.
Take the
Please.
trash out right now! It's like a swirly, but with Lay's potato chips.
I don't know if anyone has ever deserved a swirly more than Gabriel Fuerza.
Well, if they do end up in the bathroom, I don't think the camera's in there, face first into the wall again. We talk about using the ring as a weapon all the time. These gentlemen are using, and I use gentlemen loosely, the entire building as a weapon.
Well, and that has been the modus operandi of Gabriel Fuerza and Shane Sabre for months now. And it's nice to see two guys take it to them and give them some of their own medicine.
Well, you said it earlier. We thought Kyle Boone's career was over, getting pile-driven after already suffering a massive neck injury. But the Wavemaker, he's used to surfing. He's used to hitting those waves at high speeds, recovering, and coming back stronger. That's what makes Kyle Boone, Kyle Boone.
And the fans just thrilled to have the former champion back.
He's a man of the people. As is Van Landon. These are two of Barrie Wrestling's biggest homegrown talents. Wouldn't you say, Jim?
Absolutely. Van Landon, this is a guy who used to work at our ring crew. He was a fan watching Barrie Wrestling in our early years, and he's become one of our most popular wrestlers ever.
He was a fan at one point, and now I'm a big fan of his.
It's hard not to get caught up in his energy.
It really is. Big Boone in the corner. That was one hell of a kick. Brad here trying to get one of them to go to the outside here. One in, one out. That's proper tag team wrestling rules. And when it comes to the rules, no one knows them better than senior referee Brad Myers. Pulls Boone to the outside, does Fuerza. I guess that's going to make Landon the legal man here. He's got Sabre to deal with. Face first on that top turnbuckle. Big time clothesline. And not even going for the cover, just administering the punishment here, which has kind of been their MO.
That's been Shane Sabre's MO for his entire career. He is just a bad man who likes causing pain. Well,
now Fuerza, just a couple of months ago, he was beloved here. by the people, but he started seeing them going towards people like Kyle Boone, people that he considered to be clowns, that he didn't think took this business serious enough. And Fuerza took that as a personal insult.
That's wrestling. The fans cheer for who the fans cheer for. To get so bitter, so angry, I don't understand it. It's twisted him. It's just so frustrating and disappointing. This is a man who, I called his first match here in Barrie Wrestling 11 years ago.
This is the house that he built.
It is.
But it's almost as if he feels some of the other members of the roster, maybe even these fans, have been burning that house down bit by bit.
And he wants to finish the job.
It could very well be the case. Again, we don't fully know what the plans of these two men are, but I can only assume it's going to have a lot to do with showing why they should be respected. But we are still very early on here. That neck right across that top rope. Fuerza using that rope as a weapon as well. You said it, 11 years Fuerza's been doing this. He's picked up quite a few tricks over the years.
Well, he is the best wrestler in Barrie Wrestling history. No matter what his attitude is, no matter what he's doing right now, he is the peak of the mountain. He's the greatest to ever step into a Barrie Wrestling ring, which makes this all the more painful and hard to watch.
Well, pound for pound, when we're looking at Sabre and Fuerza, I think that applies to both of them. The two of the very best this country has ever produced. But sometimes talent can lead to ego, Jim.
Shane Sabre just staring a hole into Kyle Boone. He can't take his eyes off of Boone.
Oh, but gets out of the way just in time. Kick right to the midsection. The barn burner coming alive here. Irish whip, shifts it around, goes in, ducks out of the way, does Landon. Building that momentum up, eats an elbow, off the ropes, ducks the line, again, and Van Landon with the cross body.
He's got to make the tag here, though, Kevin.
He put everything he could into that. Does he have enough energy to get to the corner? Kyle Boone and Fuerza both chomping at the bit to get into this matchup.
I love Van Landon, but sometimes he lets that adrenaline make him make bad decisions. But, oh, here we go.
Two fresh men here. Boone taking down Fuerza. Half Nelson turns it around. Going for a suplex, slides behind. Gives chase into that back elbow from Boone.
Can you imagine how Kyle Boone must feel right now?
Right into that backbreaker. Kyle Boone feeling like $1 million, I can only assume. But he'll feel like $1,000,001 if he can get that pinfall on Fuerza.
It's a man who sat in the hospital not knowing if he would ever even be able to go for a jog properly, let alone wrestle, all because of Gabriel Fuerza.
But it's amazing what adrenaline and what pure hatred for someone can do for you, willing him through that recovery to the point where I can only assume he may not be at 100%, but he's good enough to not have to wear that brace. Michinoku right on Fuerza, hooks the leg. Broken up by Sabre.
Shane Sabre, deceptively fast for a man of his size. But he is a big dude. He's one of the biggest guys in Barrie Wrestling, but he moves so swiftly, and he's always so sudden in the ring, Kevin.
He's very large, very powerful, but he's more known for using precision, for using that speed and using those long limbs to really get that momentum behind those strikes.
Absolutely. In the early years of Barrie Wrestling, he was part of the GOAT Brigade, and they were almost like a prototypical Hart Foundation type of team. The big powerhouse, and then the technician in Shane Sabre.
Kirk Warmack and Sabre, two of the very best in the early days of Barrie. There it is, hits that cutter on Boone. A move that's put many people away, but not the wave maker tonight.
Fuerza shocked.
And I think I see the gears turning. When that cutter doesn't work, there's a move he tends to go for, Jim. The most devastating maneuver in wrestling today, the pile driver. And I think that's what's on his mind.
Come on, Fuerza, do not do this.
Not on the surgically repaired neck, but takes him up. What is this? Takes him down right onto that knee. But that neck gave out on him. He wasn't able to get it all there. Landon and Sabre now. European style uppercut. Takes down Fuerza.
Yeah, you scouted it earlier, Kevin. Kyle Boone is not at 100%. And that could be very dangerous here against Fuerza and Sabre.
And while he didn't fall victim to that pile driver, the way he had to lift Fuerza up, he had to use a lot of upper back and neck strength. That jerked his neck just enough.
Hold on!
What's that? Who was that?
It can't be!
Oh, now the Dragon Sleeper. Not quite locked in, though. Well, someone is on the outside intruding in this matchup. We didn't quite see who, but now Boone fighting a 2-on-1 matchup. It's
Von Vertigo!
Von Vertigo is here, the V guy! And that allows Fuerza locking in the Dragon Sleeper.
He's supposed to be in Europe.
Well, he's up in someone's business here tonight, that's for sure, but Boone starting to go cross-eyed. He can't breathe. All the pressure on his neck. Brad Myers calling for the bell. And Fuerza and Sabre have done it with a little bit of help.
Here are your winners, Gabriel Fuerza and Sabre.
And Von Vertigo. We can't forget about that. The V guy returning here to Barrie Wrestling and joining forces with someone he's been tag team champions with in the past, Jim.
The history between all three of these men is long and twisted, but I can tell you it is not good for Barrie Wrestling that Vertigo is back.
Well, things just went from bad to worse. This might be the most impressive. No! Shining Wizard right to Boone. They're going to try to put him back on the shelf, Jim. No, we need some help out here. We got to get someone out here. It's like a pack of hyenas trampling a wounded gazelle. No, you've done enough. No! Well, Jim, I don't know if there's much you can say after that. But all I know for sure is Barrie Wrestling might never be the same again with this union.
Kevin, I told you earlier that the very first match I ever introduced in Barrie Wrestling featured Gabriel Fuerza. His opponent that night was Von Vertigo. These are the two men who Barrie Wrestling was built on. There are no more iconic figures than Fuerza and Vertigo, and I don't even know what to say.
They've got the gold, they've got the talent, they've got the rapport, they've got the history. The question is, what else do they want?
Weighing in at 205 pounds, the in-ring artist, Rajan Husher.
Well, the artist known as Rajan Husher is here in Barrie Wrestling, sporting a little bit of a new look tonight, Jim. You seemed a little off-put by it.
You know, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been beaten up, I've been kicked around, but no one disturbs me or honestly scares me more than that man, Rajan Husher. There's just something broken inside of him.
And that's been the case with a lot of the great artists in the past. We're talking names, of course, like Vincent van Gogh, like Monet. Some of these men have been tortured. Salvador Dali, for example. And when I'm looking at the artist Rajan Husher, I see a man with a blank canvas in his hand and a fully finished paint job across his face. He is serious. He is ready to become a Three Pistols champion here tonight.
Well, you mentioned Salvador Dali. The difference is Dali cut it off his own ear. Husher would cut off yours and mine.
I believe that was Van Gogh, actually. Van Gogh cut off his ear. Dali had the crazy mustache.
New York, weighing in at 175 pounds,
generally speaking, Jim, when someone comes out with a shirt that says they eat ice cream, that's something that gets on my good side. But Myung Jae Lee doesn't really have the best of attitudes here in Barrie in recent history. Am I right?
Well, if you were lactose intolerant, neither would you.
Well, there's pills for that.
Get ready, Kevin, because this place is about to come unglued.
Introducing next. From Toronto, Ontario, she is bionic and is your current Three Pistols champion, Alexia.
Well, the champ has entered the building. The Bionic Woman, a product of Capsule Corpse herself. Alexia Nicole is ready to defend that title for the very first time.
Now, Kevin, I know you watched her match against Reverso on IW TV, and it could be the match of the year for Barrie Wrestling. She absolutely went toe-to-toe with one of the great technical stars of professional wrestling, and she came out on top. It was a long path for her to get revenge on Reverso, but now she's become the first woman ever to hold the Three Pistols Championship.
Well, Alexia Nicole is used to being underestimated by her opponents, and frankly, every time I see her step in the ring, I can't understand why. I've seen her hoist up men 3 times her size and drive them directly into the mat. I've seen her do that to Frankie the Mobster. Have you seen that, man? Oh, well, Myung Jae Lee taking it right to the champion. This is a man who's been trying to recapture this title for quite some time, never being pinned to lose it in his record-breaking reign a number of years ago.
Yeah, Myung Jae Lee, a lot of people would say that he's the greatest Three Pistols champion in history, although by the time Alexia Nicole's all said and done, people might suggest she is, but he's been twisted and focused on getting that title back, and tonight is his chance.
Well, Alexia still very early on in her reign. Again, this is her first defense. But arguably, the first defense is the most important. It sets the tone for the rest of the reign. And so far, we got Myung Jae and Husher himself fighting it out in the ring. Alexia Nicole starting to stir, starting to get herself back in the ring now. Sent into the ropes. Alexia pulls down that top rope, sending Husher to the outside. Beautiful tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Bionic Woman now coming in, taking it to the greatest three-pistol champ of all time, arguably.
Well, you were talking about Alexia's strength, and I would say, and we saw Mark Wheeler, an absolute powerhouse earlier in the night. Pound for pound, I think Alexia Nicole may be the strongest person in Ontario indie wrestling.
I can't disagree with that. Again, like men, women, she's held titles everywhere throughout Ontario in every single division she can. But Husher, the largest man in this matchup, would love to start off a reign here very quickly, using Alexia as a weapon. Very intelligent from the artist.
Rajan Husher is as big of a prospect in professional wrestling as I've ever seen. He's got size, he's got strength, speed, he can absolutely go in the ring, but he's so broken inside, it's stopping him from getting to that next level, but you would not want to step into the ring with that young man.
Oh, that I would, and I wouldn't want to step into an art studio where he was holding the exhibit. I'll admit, I love his paintings. He's one hell of an artist. But sometimes the stuff he puts on that canvas is scary, and I'm not just talking about the artist's canvas. I'm talking the wrestler's canvas. Alexia Nicole finding that out firsthand here.
Now, Kevin, you noted when Rajan came out that his canvas was blank, which we've never seen before. And this, I was telling you earlier, he was once associated with Von Vertigo.
Rolled up by Alexia, kick out.
Vertigo abandoned him, and he's just gone completely off the rails since then, and now showing up with blank canvases. I don't get it.
I mean, that's the thing with artists. Sometimes we never understand them. Sometimes even they don't understand themselves. But here, Alexia goes up into the backbreaker. And he's not done here. Now using his leg as a fulcrum, Myung Jae Lee, though, putting a stop to what could have been a possible submission.
We talked about Alexia's strength, but no one strikes harder than Myung Jae Lee.
Can't disagree with that. Someone who punches way above his weight class. Oh! Well, it's triple threat rules, no disqualification.
Mike Jeffries' favorite move.
And that's a... Oh, but it's not going to work on Alexia. You know, I think Myung Jae Lee might need a couple of lessons on anatomy here. Beautiful stomp there onto the champion. Hooks the leg to win the gold. Kick out.
Well, I'm going to let you tell Myung Jae Lee that, because I'm not getting on that guy's bad side.
Oh, I will. I'll send him a text message. I will write him on the Instagram at Myung Jae Lee. I think that's what it is.
Just don't include a picture of ice cream.
I love ice cream. And now Alexia down once again, hooking both legs, and a kick out. And it just goes to show how much Myung Jae is looking to pick up the win here. Not taking the moment to remove Alexia from the ropes. I know that didn't come into play, but ring awareness, you always got to know where your opponent is when you're going for the pinfall.
Yeah, he's been obsessed for over a year now getting that title back, and it's cost him matches. And this is the man who ran Josh Alexander out of indie wrestling.
Trying to hoist her up. She's trying to turn that into a DDT, but Myung Jae Lee still in this, still in control in the goings at this point in the matchup. Taking Alexia up to the bluffs here. This could be dangerous for both competitors. But now Husher re-entering the equation. Clubbing blow right to the back here. Think it could be time for a power bomb of sorts here. But Lee, Hurricane Rana right out of it, goes charging in face first into the center turnbuckle. Husher is fired up. But Alexia caught right in the arms. Into the crucifix driver. But
wow,
the way
she planted Husher.
But the way she landed on her leg there seemed like it might not have been the best way to go. Let's take another look. Jinx, you owe me a Coke. And Jae Lee with that super kick. Picture perfect. Here we are once again, all three competitors in the ring. Alexia, house of fire at this point.
But you said earlier that your first title defense really sets the tone for your championship reign. And here's the thing. Alexia Nicole asked for this match. She asked for it to be competed under traditional Three Pistols rules, and she asked for these two dangerous men she's defending her title against.
Backstabber from Alexia, a top-tier competitor everywhere she goes. Always looking not only to test her opponent, but to test herself, to make sure she is the top dog. You have to fight with the top dogs. Iron sharpens iron. But now here comes the artist, taking Alexia up, using her as a weapon as she fights out. Shot to the knee there, forcing him down. Stairway to heaven of sorts, into the double knee face breaker. Myung Jae Lee could be down. Kick out from the former and longest reigning champion.
I'll tell you, it's kind of interesting. Rajan Husher seems much more focused than we've seen him in recent months.
That could have been a sign of what that blank canvas means. He's focused. He's not worried about anything else but winning this gold here tonight. Again, only speculating here. I'm not going to begin to say I understand the artist's mind, and I don't think he does after a knee strike like that. Right up top, Myung Jae Lee here, about to take it home with that Samoan driver and a kick out from the tortured artist. You can see it in his face. Myung Jae Lee means business. Hooks that arm, possibly going for a Northern Lights driver here. Husher, knowing it means the end, fights out. Up on the shoulders.
That's where that size advantage for Husher is so important.
Myung Jae Lee back up on the shoulders again. Drops him with the Kryptonite Crunch. Lateral press here to win the gold. Kick out from Lee.
How would that bother Myung Jae Lee if he actually was pinned in this match when he's not the champion?
Well, and that was how Myung Jae Lee lost the title to begin with. He was not the one who was pinned. And he's been so close ever since, but not able to recapture what he feels he never truly lost. And it would be almost poetic if he were to do that to somebody else, you know? Sort of a little bit of hypocrisy, if you will. Lee up top. Great ring awareness from Husher. And he is serious, he is calm, he is collected. No matter how much of that war paint rubs off and ends up on Myung Jae Lee, Husher is ready for this. And a big superplex, shaking the whole ring. Alexia stealing the win here with a crucifix. Kick out from Husher.
You know, we talk about Alexia's strength, but she outthinks her opponents match in and match out.
Oh, lateral press from Husher to win the title. Almost had her down with that fisherman's neck breaker.
Alexia is always 2 steps ahead of her opponent. Oh.
Well, there's a Vertigo. Vertigo with a completed painting there.
Vertigo abandoned Husher for almost a year.
Oh, we saw him earlier tonight joining forces with Sabre and Fuerza. Is this another member of that union?
Well, maybe they're all part of the Vision.
Refusing. Husher here. What is Vertigo doing here? Whoa!
What is going on?
Vertigo leaving us with so many questions here this evening, and Alexia fighting off one. Oh, but
not like this.
We got a new champion, no. So close yet so far. Alexia now trying to go for that pile driver. Misses with the stomp, does Lee. Backstabber. And now it's time. No one kicks out of the pile driver.
Stack of dimes. Count to 100. An absolutely incredible.
Here is your winner, and still 3 Pistols champion, Alexia Nicole.
A little bit of a questionable ending there, and not due to anything Alexia Nicole did. Von Vertigo coming down here, putting his nose in something that has nothing to do with him, but allowing Alexia to pick up the win. A very important first victory in this title reign.
Absolutely. Look at the impact. The stack of times pile driver.
You can see the pressure on the vertebrae in the neck as Myung Jae Lee hits that mat. But congratulations to Alexia Nicole. And what is next for the champion and that 3 Pistols title?